Hi folks, Paul here with another away day guide. This one is for Turf Moor. If you're heading out to see your team take on the Clarets, there's some important changes coming up for visiting fans in the 25-26 season, so stay tuned, everything you need is coming up. Okay, Burnley have called Turf Moor home since 1883, 5 years before becoming founder members of the Football League. And that's one of the longest periods of time a club has been at a ground in England. In fact, it's only eclipsed by their local rivals, Preston, who've been at Deepdale a fraction longer. Located in East Lancashire, they are a proper working men's club, set on the edge of the Pennines in mill and graft country, and they're also one of my favourite away days in the Premier League. A couple of interesting facts for you to chat to the home fans about if you're enjoying a beer with them before the game. So way back in 1882, when they were first formed, it used to be a rugby club, but they took a vote because football was becoming more popular, and they decided to switch codes and go to the football, and they were actually called Burnley Rovers for a time. Only a few days, they dropped the Rovers bit, but they were Burnley Rovers originally. And they're also one of only 5 sides to have won every single one of the top 4 divisions in English football, which just goes to show that back in the day, they were a very successful club. They have a good, strong history, and whilst silverware may have eluded them recently, they are still a team that are hard to go up against when you're playing them on their own ground. The current capacity at Turf Moor is just under 22,000, and away fans get just under 2,500. And for this season, we've been moved to the north end of the cricket field stand, also known as the Dave Fishwick stand, aka Bank of Dave. So previously we were in the south end of that stand, and you would enter by the gates at that side. Bang up to the side of those gates is a cricket field, and you can't get round to the other end, so you need to pay attention later on when I'll tell you how to get there. If you're coming in by train, there are actually 2 stations within 10 minutes walk of the ground. They're both served by local services provided by Northern Rail, so you're going to need to link up and go through either Manchester or Leeds in order to get there. The one you're most likely to come into is Burnley Manchester Road, and that's served by services running from Manchester Victoria all the way through to Leeds. And then your Burnley Central is actually only served by local services going from sort of Blackpool South and Blackburn out to a few stops past that, where the line runs to an end at Colne, but that's more for local people, I think, getting in. If you are driving there's plenty of street parking, but do be mindful, do read the signs. It does change from match to match, so I'll not go into it too much, but Harry Potts Way along the south side of the stadium will be closed before and after the game, so try to avoid that area and then be sensible with what's available around the rest of the town. The club do have parking pre-bookable, and the cricket ground next door do have spaces that you can pay cash on the gate, but it fills up pretty quick. You have to get there early for that. Failing that, quite a lot in the city centre, and there's plenty of park on your drive options if you're using any of those apps. People cash in on that quite well around there. But even if you do park in the town centre, it's only a 10-15 minute walk into the ground. If you're looking to stay over, there's not a lot in terms of traditional hotel style things. You've got your Hardy Inn, which is just on the other side to the north of the M65. That's going to leave you a bit of a trek and trying to get round to get back to the ground. You're probably going to be taxiing in and out, which isn't too bad if you're staying over. But other than that, you'll be looking at Airbnbs through booking.com and things like that. And there are quite a few people running Airbnbs with spare rooms and whole apartments and things in the local area, which is quite handy, but they do get snapped up fast. So as soon as the TV companies let you know which games they've picked for that month and your kickoff time and dates finalised, get booking it and don't be disappointed. Same applies to the park on your drive stuff. Get in there fast. Moving on to pubs for those coming on train into Manchester Road. The most convenient one will be the Old Masonic Hall, also known as Nelson's House locally, but that is like just outside the train station. You'll leave the area, start heading along Manchester Road towards the town, and it's just on your left before you go over the canal. That's got an old working men's club vibe to it. You may have to pay a nominal fee to get in the front door. It won't be a lot, but edgy, tasty digs will get you to the car park entrance. We went years and years ago. I can't remember exactly where it was or if it was this place, but it does look vaguely familiar. But we finished up in a working men's club in Burnley, and it may have been that. If it is, it was cracking, and again, it's not a long walk to the ground from there. Once you are done there and you're heading up closer to the ground, you're moving in towards the town centre, head straight up Manchester Road until you get to the pedestrianised precinct. Turn right and go to the next corner. You'll find a Wetherspoons called the Boot Inn. It's just across the precinct from the McDonald's, so head for the Golden Arches and you'll find it, or failing that, kick Till's Score will get you to the side door. And as you get closer to the ground after there, you'll head sort of under what looks like a railway bridge. It's actually a canal bridge with water going over the top of you, but just past there you've got the Shoreditch Arms, Shoreditch Inn, whatever it is. Bit gimmicky and everything, but yeah, it's fun, I guess, to name a local boozer after their old favourite Lego Head manager. But from there up to the ground, they are pretty much all home fans only, so give up then until you get to the cricket ground, which is right next to the ground. Turn left left, keep the cricket ground on your right, and you'll find the driveway entrance at Grand Bowls Pint, which will walk you up the side of the pitch to the cricket pavilion, and that is a dedicated away fans pub right next to the ground. You literally look out the window at the top of the stairs inside and you'll see the away turnstiles as they are now. It's a cracking welcome, it's a nice little place, they're well staffed, they're set up for the day, they'll make as much money as they can by serving you as quickly as they can, but they don't rip you off. They've got pie and peas, cheap drinks, Sky TV. What more could you ask for? They've even got on the outside, as you're approaching it, beer taps with holes in the wall so you can drink outside on the nice sunny days, which is fantastic. And then once you're ready to head in from there, you need to go back down the driveway, turn right and right again around the tree, and head back up an alleyway, which is basically just where you've come from, alongside it, all the way up to that corner of the ground. Now this used to be like an exit route for home fans after the game. They would keep it sealed off most of the time, but open it to get people out of the area. Some of the home fans are not too happy that it's been given over to away fans, but it makes more sense. One, the away end's closer to the dedicated away pub. Two, it's easier to walk in from there. You're not mixing with other people, and it's easier to walk out from there. And it's fantastic if you've parked in the cricket ground, you're straight out and on the road. But that's been done in conjunction with their fans advisory board, which I think's quite smart, and it's a great example of one of those boards actually working. When you do get back up that walkway to the ground, same pie as goes, as you walk 3 words for the turnstiles on your right. Don't go further on, you don't need to. And when you get in, there's a marquee on the right. So for those that have been before, there used to be a big marquee on the left as you went in. So before the match, they would have beer and pies and stuff like that in there. Quite spacious, really handy, create a good atmosphere for away fans. My big concern when they moved us was we were going to lose that. We actually haven't. It's still there, it's on the right, and it's another great example of how Burnley just seem to get it. They get that you're working men, you want to go out, you want to have a drink with your mates and a good time, chill out and enjoy the game. It's cracking. This is why I love Burnley as an away day. When you get up to the stands, the views are fine. There's no restricted views. There's no pillars or posts in front of you. You're going to be, as you're looking out to the goal, you're going to be to the left of the goal behind it. Your dugouts are going to be on your right-hand side of the pitch, halfway down. And they've got big scoreboards at the other end for you to see what's going on and your video replays and stuff. So anyway, kudos to Burnley. If you're going, enjoy your day. I hope you get the result you're after. And if you found this useful, drop us a like, smash the subscribe button. And if you want to be a proper decent mate, share it with your friends. Cheers.